everyone, my name is Beth McGill and you are watching LOD and T. So in these short videos I introduce language of dance concepts for both performers and for everyday life, because the more I'm doing this research and practice, I'm noticing just how much the concepts of action, the concepts of our actions, how we act and what we do really can reflect our thought process and our belief sets and things like that. So it's really been fun. It's been a fun journey for me. Today, I'd like to talk about the grammar, so to speak, the syntax of dance notation. So just as in any form of language, there will be information in the nouns, in the verbs, in the adjectives, in the adverbs. And so this idea of the what, the when, where, how, who, all of those questions. So just to start us off, I would like to revisit the idea of any actions. So if I have a little any symbol, and then I take my action stroke, this is my verb, and the movement alphabet of the language of dance is all centered around the verbs, the what, the what are we doing, the actions. And so when we start to get into concepts like dynamics or specific body parts, then we need to give more information. So something I really like to do is I like to introduce the concept of any body part or limb. So here we have this square with two vertical lines in it, and that means any body part or limb. So the idea that you would isolate a portion of your body, which is very, very common for gestures or for dance technique in general, where you're stabilizing perhaps your core and moving your limbs. So this tells me a little more about the noun, but it doesn't give me any information about the action. So I would still need an action stroke. In that way, we have the body part, and then we have the action. And the body part's considered a pre-sign because it's telling the reader what is doing the action, what part of the body. But it still doesn't tell me how. How am I doing it? It does tell me how long, if it's giving me the duration. So that's useful information, but it doesn't tell me anything about the energetic quality. So in order to add that, I would need to create a bracket. And for our dynamics, we like to use this square bracket. And then inside, I could place any of the dynamics that I already know. So let me place in here, I'm going to put an uplift. Let's see, there we go. Then I have my uplift. So now I have my noun. My noun tells me what body part. Then I have my action, that tells me the verb. And then here I have my adverb, my quality, telling me how I should do my action. And so this becomes one movement idea, but there's a lot of information packed in there. We get body part, any body part or limb. We get the action, we get the duration, and now we have the dynamic quality. So we could even specify the type of action, and we could specify the body part. So let me pick a body part, and I'm going to pick the right arm. So here I have my right arm, and the action I would like my right arm to do is a rotation. So I'll do a twist of my right arm externally. So now I have a twist of my right arm. That's giving me a lot of information, but it's still not telling me how. So I'm going to add my bracket. And I would like to have my arm twist with a lot of force. So now I have my right arm twists to the right, or externally is what we would usually describe, and then we have with strong force. So that's a lot of information, and it gives you an idea of how we generate our sentence structures with dance notation. So if you've studied other pedagogical models for dance, you may have encountered, for instance, the Dance Education Laboratory has a movement sentence, and it's similar in that when we look at the components that we need to communicate to our audience or to our dancers, then we need to be able to address all of the information in different ways. And when we do that, then we start to experience dance holistically, and it's not just about the mechanics of the action, but it can become about the nuance of the body part or the energetic, dynamic qualities behind the action, which gives it its richness and its sense of spirit or soul. So hopefully this helps as you are organizing your thinking process behind the language of dance. And you'll notice if you go back to some of my videos, sometimes my videos I address a concept that is more dynamic without any reference to action, or I'll talk about an action without any reference to a specific dynamic. So when thinking conceptually, we can isolate concept to concept, but if we want to put it into a process or a specific choreographic experience or movement experience, then I'll need to give a little more information in terms of how they relate. So, all right, I think that's all for today. Please keep questions coming my way because it helps me shape what I'm doing here, and I really am doing it for you guys. And so the more input I have from you, the better I can feel about giving you what you need to continue on your language of dance journey and your dance theory journey. So take care. Again, my name is Beth McGill, and this is LOD and T. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about my chalkboard got a little funny. The different format. There we go. No, that's not true. So I have try that again. Watermelon.